And we are live. So I am Ball Python Love. We're on Josue's Exotics channel though tonight, and welcome to Pythons and Exotics. And we got a badass guest tonight. I am super happy. We got D's Balls and Exotics, or I know his real name. So, oh yeah, you guys haven't already, please smack that like button, share this shit out. I'm gonna let Josue introduce himself on his channel, and we'll go from there.
What's going on, guys? As you know, I'm Josue from Josue's Exotics, and I like to make videos about all my reptiles. And we also make these podcast style videos like this with my co-host here over here on this side, BPL. And like I said, in tonight's video, we got a special guest. We got D's Balls and Exotics. So definitely, like I said, go check his channel out and give him subscribe and turn on your notifications as well.
Hell yeah. So you got anything to say real quick, Dylan, before, or sorry, yeah, Dylan, David.
I was about to say, yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so like David said, my name's Dylan. D's Balls and Exotics is what most people know us as. We breed ball pythons, Burmese pythons, and then slowly working our way into the feeder market as well. A few other projects growing up, and then just, you know, a few things I keep just to keep because I like them.
That's dope, though. That's dope. So gonna welcome everybody real quick, and we'll jump right into it. Moon over Miami, welcome CSL. Marcus, Luke, welcome everybody. Rats, Pythons, and Mo, welcome Shane. Oh yeah, you guys are awesome. So here's something, you know, so we were talking a little bit earlier today, you and I, not too much, but we did a little bit about. I hear an echo. It's gone. Anyway, we were talking about you know, if we had any certain questions, he might. Once again, like I said, but my biggest thing is, like I said, him and I have been talking, Josue and I have been talking about morphs, and I mean, especially with ball pythons, because that's what I have and that's what he has. I wish I could have a berm, like, you know how cool that would be, but I can't have a berm. But I gotta have a damn tiger. It's weird. But anyway, I mean, I would like, to me,
yeah,
you put out some of the best, if not the best, blackheads out there, in my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. And, you know, that's something I would like him to see, because, you know, we'll eventually have you show some shit off.
I mean, thank you, man. I can pull out some blackhead stuff. You know, just to be honest, I've only really had a few clutches of blackhead stuff. We just got really lucky. We bought in with a really quality, you know, breeder male, and we just so happened to get really lucky and just hit some killer combos. You know, I mean, I appreciate the compliment, but just to be straightforward with everybody, we just got really lucky, man. Like really lucky. We got 5 holdback females, also let a few go, and then also, you know, let some males go that I didn't necessarily need, but I'm trying to focus that project in a certain direction. So I was, you know, fair to cut a few, keep the majority of the females. But yeah, let me grab a few. Hold on.
Yeah, because dude, that's awesome. Because you're talking just black-headed pythons, right?
No. So it's a ball python, and it's a blackhead morph. So like the python, like it's a gene. Okay. But it's dope. And by the way, yes, Moon over Miami, it was no one's internet connection. It was actually YouTube that was messing up. But we still went live last night.
Just to show you guys our original male. This is the original blackhead red gene het hypo or het orange ghost male. This is the male that started all of our blackhead stuff. Hopefully it's coming up and not getting washed out with the lights here, but
it's not. And I mean, I want
the original male that started.
So the head stamp is, I mean, for everyone out there watching, the head stamp, right, that's how you those who are watching that, I mean, are in
pitch black head. Overall, the blacks are a lot blacker. Now you got to remember this guy has red gene in it, which is bringing in that flaming, as well as a little bit of that,
red tone.
I think it affects a little bit of the alien heads as far as the shape. And then I don't know if it's coming up, but do you see on his dorsal there, he's got a little bit of blushing in between the saddles, like
correct.
Yeah,
you can
right in there, not the alien heads, but right in there, how the black
right there, yeah,
kind of burgundy red. That's that red gene influence. With just a straight black head, unfortunately, I literally just shipped out my last single gene blackhead. But it's just, I mean, to be honest, they look kind of like a normal, but way more black. Little bit of pattern variation, but it's just those really deep blacks and that super deep black head. But then the red gene you add in. I don't have the ringer gene in my blackhead stuff. So that's another gene that's kind of associated with the blackhead stuff. You find red gene and ringer gene. This male does not carry the ringer gene. So I'm just working, with the blackhead red gene stuff.
The red gene is pretty cool though. I don't see very many people into the red gene.
I really like it, honestly, man. I wasn't, I was kind of like, okay, maybe it only looks good in blackhead. But when I saw it without blackhead is when I was really impressed. Because without blackhead, it works like an enhancer type gene.
It's interesting.
Now, tell me if I'm right or wrong, please. Red gene is actually is that a recessive?
No. It's a codom.
It's a codom, so there is a super form.
Apparently, I haven't seen one, but it's obvious when it's there. So I guess you could say, it's more so acts like an incomplete dominant kind of thing. This girl, hopefully we can get her to
gorgeous.
Pop up.
Is that the same one with that one spot on the end where it's like different?
So this is blackhead, champagne, red gene, poshet, orange ghost. But you can see how that blackhead just brought those random splotches of black into the champagne there. The red gene, affecting the color a little bit overall. If you guys have ever seen other blackhead champagnes, they look nothing like this girl. So it brings in that kind of craziness. And then what amazed me is she ended up with these random, if we can focus there, orange splotches. And then this white kind of coming up. So I don't know if you can see this random orange kind of speckling.
Yeah.
And then also right here, she's grabbing the laptop. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but she has whites coming up
her sides.
Almost kind of like tiny ringers. Like right.
Dude, that's an awesome snake.
Yeah, man. I could see it by your index right there where you were showing.
I'm not sure if that's the het hypo influence just kind of showing up, because het hypo, with champagne, a lot of hets in general with champagne tend to have that kind of ringerish influence. But got really lucky to hit this girl. I was kind of sad to find out that it was an allelic combo, because I've been trying to hit this snake for a while and I didn't know that they were allelic. Champagne and blackhead are. So I was actually trying to hit an animal that, as much as this girl is beautiful, she's not going anywhere. I kind of have to take a whole nother step now because of the fact that they're allelic. So I can't hit super blackhead champagnes necessarily with this girl. I could if I used a super blackhead male, but I don't have a super blackhead male yet, so I might have to work on that. But yeah, really happy with how that girl turned out.
What's going on, Sonoran Herp Haven, Moon of Miami, Reptile Feeding? So how's everybody doing, guys? Welcome to the live stream.
DG Reptiles 215 should be blue. He's been here for like the last week. That guy, or at least so. Like that dude's been up here hanging out. Not only that, gotta give the man some respect, man. He's from Puerto Rico, right there. Give that guy some love.
He is, most definitely.
Let's go back to the beginning a little bit, and just like the adult male, this is a blackhead, red gene, poshet hypo. So you can see how those colors are very vibrant as a hatchling.
Oh yeah.
So this is the exact same thing as our original male, but this is a female. But you can see he's also just coming out of shed. He hasn't actually shed yet, so he doesn't look the best, but it's still a lot more apparent as a hatchling. So it's just finding those right combos, I guess, to keep that darkness too. And then if we add pastel to that, we get this girl. This is blackhead, pastel, red gene, posset, orange ghost.
Oh, wow. Dude, that's awesome.
So you can see what just adding pastel did to this combo, which is honestly quite amazing. Pastel looks great in some things, but other things, I'm not going to lie, I kind of hate pastel in it. I don't want pastel in certain combos.
I agree.
But this is one where blackhead actually worked, really well with the pastel.
Yeah, for sure.
So let me put these girls back, and then we'll move on to the visual orange ghost versions.
I never said you were from Philly, bro. I just said that you were from Puerto Rico, and yeah, you're part Cuban. But yeah, no, that's badass, man. Much respect right there, like for that guy. But Dylan showing off some badass snakes tonight. Like once again, like people that don't know their morphs really well, like you could really easily mistake a blackhead for normal, like easily, right, Dylan? Do you agree? If you don't know, if you don't know what you're
depends on the quality. I've seen really shitty looking blackheads, but nothing I've produced. All the blackheads have been very, very obvious.
Welcome to the live stream.
So if you take that last combo, the blackhead pastel red gene, minus the red gene. So now we're just looking at blackhead pastel, visual orange ghost.
What? Oh, hold on. Let me solo you.
That is gorgeous, bro.
Yeah. Look, good Lord of mercy.
Look at all those blushings up on the side, and then you can see the dark
everywhere.
From the blackhead on top. It's like dark on the spine. Like, dude, that is beautiful.
Yep, and then that obvious, ghostish appearance from the visual hypo or orange ghost. The line of hypo I work with is orange ghost. So,
dude, that's
if you hear me interchange those, just know it's the orange ghost line. Now, if you add red gene back into that combo, come on, stay on the table here. You get this girl. This is the all gener. Blackhead, pastel, red gene, visual orange ghost.
That is badass, bro.
Dude, that's some fucking crazy shit, man.
You can see how crazy the red gene blushed out that dorsal in between the alien heads. Really turned it almost. It's hard to see on camera, but it's like a peachy kind of color. It's peachy pink everywhere. You should have those traditional like purplish hues from the hypo or the orange ghost.
That is gorgeous, bro.
So, those were our 5 holdback girls from last year. So super excited to raise these girls up, and actually
got to keep those.
The ARS rack.
Oh, you guys,
dude, they badass, man.
You see that big Burma? You see the burb?
I see him over there slithering around. He's like, oh man. What's up, bro? What's up, bro?
Oh, the other way. Yeah, there's one on the other side. He's all moving around in the. He looks dope. No, good shit, man. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
See, I need something like that for my boa.
Yeah, dude. He's just moving around. We're checking him out as soon as.
That's my Savannah monitor. He's pretty cool. He's nosy though. He's just nosy. He's a little beggar. Anytime I'm in here, he's like coming to the glass to beg for food and just, be nosy. No, I'm not even kidding. If there was rodents in the room, he'd be like climbing on those branches and then like purposely falling over and then just looking at me to see if I saw him fall. And like, oh, are you going to give me a rat now? But he's a pretty much strict insectivore, so it's very rare that I give him rodents. Doesn't change the fact that he begs for him every time, though.
That is true.
He's pretty cool, man. One of my rescues, I thought Savannah monitors, they get, let's be real, they get killed quite often, or very, how do I put this semi-politely? They don't get the proper husbandry. You know what I mean? People don't take care of them right. They don't realize they buy this cute little thing at the expo for $20 or $40 because, we import them by the thousands every year. And then most of them don't even make it to a year old,
I've heard that, though, about
I don't know this guy's age. I just know he's coming up on around a decade. So
obviously he's doing something right.
He's doing pretty good, He's chill. He likes to bite fingers. but I can try to pull him out for a second. He's not
That's
mean,
on you,
he
man.
just thinks everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's on you. You ain't got to, but
Solo it, dude. I mean, if there is anyone gets their fingers bit, we need to see this shit so we all have it.
you know I don't like that shit, BPL. I ain't with that biting stuff, man.
Oh, dude, he is gorgeous, dude. That is.
Oh,
that
dude,
is
hell yeah.
beautiful. Hell yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
cool, dude.
What is he like? 3.5, 4 feet?
Yeah, he's like 40, 42 inches or so. I don't know. Here's him compared to my arm, fully stretched. His tail's a little past my shoulder, and then his head is past my fingers there.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good then.
He's a good dude. He's good size.
Yeah, people give them such a bad rap, man. They're not good for. They got good piss. Nah, man.
They
Like,
just
that
require
shows you.
very specific care. I mean, he's got almost 2 feet of substrate in there. I don't know if you can tell, but that's an 8 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot cage. He's got a Arcadia high output 13% UVB fixture that I have to replace every few months. He's got 2 basking spots, or basking bulbs, I should say, on his basking spot, so we can get up to 140 degrees. And then he's got fluorescence, 2 high output fluorescents in there, just so I can keep the plants that I grow in there alive. And that's more for my pleasure because he just likes to kill them. But
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't know. I mean, they're great if you can manage it. It's just a lot. I mean, like, let's be real. He's got the most expensive cage in this entire room, and he is the cheapest animal in the entire room. So that's where they get like that misrepresentation. They're not super difficult. It's just people buy a cheap lizard, and most people who are buying a cheap lizard, it's because it's cheap, right? Like, or else they'd go buy something else. But instead of going with that $400 or $250 monitor, you know, like they went with the $20, $40, $60 Savannah, and then didn't realize, oh shit, you're telling me I need a $1,500 cage, and then I need to put like 3 or 4 or 5 light fixtures in there, and then do 2 feet of soil, which in a cage that size is quite a lot of weight. You know what I mean? That's where they get that, like, you know, I guess misconception that they're hard. They're not necessarily hard. It's just, it's a good investment, you know?
So they must be real big into digging and stuff then.
Yeah, they love to dig. So, man, it's hard to tell, but that big basking rock, backwards here, that one is actually, here, you know what? Hold on. See if I can do this for you guys, if you'll let me. I actually built this, but this thing is, not the hand, buddy. I don't know if you can see how big that is. He has a burrow all the way underneath this thing. Hey, bud. So he dig. I can't get the camera quite in there. He's just going to bite the shit out of the laptop. But, I mean, this thing's about 4 foot, and he's got to burrow the whole depth of it down to the bottom of the cage.
That's crazy.
So he likes to burrow. He's also got a whole tunnel that goes down and under his water dish over here. He's crazy. He always sleeps with his head outside the den, so he like can just see if we're doing anything, you know.
Dude, that's freaking cool.
I see that comment from DG Reptiles 215. Dude, honestly, I'm glad to see that they're more expensive. I think they should be. We import them by the thousands every year, and like 95+% die. I don't know that for a fact, like as far as a percentage, but I mean it's 90+ percentile that die within a year.
Dude, that's a lot. That's still a lot of them though. Like that.
Yeah, I mean that's thousands dead a year. I want to see. I'd like to see more captive breeding of them. Unfortunately, it's not something I'm going to focus on as much as I say I would love to see it. It's just, you know, I already have enough projects going on to necessarily focus on monitor breeding on top of that. So I just love the dude. He's cool. Rescued him from some local kid who had him, and he actually took fairly decent care of him. This kid's entire freaking bedroom when I went to pick him up was just a huge savanna enclosure. But yeah, I just thought it was one, you know, normally I don't like take stuff in or rescue stuff, but I like savannas, man. I don't know. They're pretty
Yeah.
nifty. As long as you know what you're doing, they're nifty.
I've been wanting to get like a Savannah monitor, or either like just a monitor lizard in general. Like what are the Nile monitors or something like that?
Yeah, Niles are cool
Nile, the
too.
croc.
Niles are a little more I hate to say unpredictable, but I guess that's the best term for it. They're a little more hyperactive, I guess should say.
What about the croc?
I think it's what Asian water monitor. I think that's another one.
Yeah, I love the Asian water monitors. Unfortunately, they're illegal here in Washington. Stupidest shit ever. We can own I can go and own any of my retics, berms, anything like that, right? I can even have black throat monitors, white throat monitors, peach throats, all those, right? But I can't have an Asian water monitor that actually technically is about the same size or smaller than a black throat as far as weight. They might have a little length on them due to the tail and everything. But I mean, a full grown black throat, you're talking a good 70, 75 pound monitor, if it's nice big male or whatnot.
Yeah.
What do you
Asian
feel about
water
the
monitor?
croc?
A lot of them only get, 5 foot ish, depending on obviously the locality and everything. And they're not really hitting that 75 pound mark. So
how do you feel about the whole croc monitor? What about those?
they're badass. I've never personally worked with them. I got buddies who work with them, and they send me videos and pictures all the time, and I just goo and awe over them. But to be honest, I've never personally worked with them. I do think they're an awesome species, though. Definitely not a beginner species. That's for dang sure.
No. You
But
get bit by that fucker, you're gonna feel it for sure.
I also not too long ago had a mangrove monitor as well. They're really cool, really fun to watch and look at because it's one of the few monitors that likes to burrow, swim, and climb. I mean, they're literally a little bit of everything, They're not necessarily the best monitor for like holding, though. It's more like enjoy it, clean it, tongue feed it, and that's your enjoyment out of that species. You know what I mean? I've seen them hand tame, but mine was not. I mean, I worked with this girl for 2 years, and she made a lot of progress, but it wasn't, I couldn't pull her out like I do Luda.
Oh, yeah.
Cool ass species though, and beautiful, and they're just fascinating to watch, man. I'd watch her climb 6 feet up in her cage and then dive down into her big water tub we had in there.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, you want to show Josue one of your berms? Your favorite berm?
That's what I was going to ask you. So, what did you start with first? Did you start with the balls first? Did you start with a berm, or what was your first thing with your projects and all?
So as far as breeding goes, or keeping reptiles in general?
Both.
As far as breeding goes, technically corn snakes. But as far as everybody knows me, as far as D's balls and exotics, it was balls and berms pretty much back to back. If we rewind way back to when I actually got into reptiles, besides the whole going out and catching garters and alligator lizards and shit and keeping them in, Tupperware containers or fucking critter keepers when we were a kid, right? I don't know if you guys ever did that stuff, but I was huge on going out in the yard and find lizards and, skinks and whatever, right?
Gardener snakes here.
Yeah, exactly. So I would go do that. But as far as my first pet reptile, just because I wasn't allowed to have snakes, it was actually tortoises. Had a group of Russian tortoises, got a little bit older, had a few different types of frogs and lizards and stuff like that. And then more tortoises. And then really it was just, got older, really got into snakes. Finally, I snuck snakes in as a kid, let's be real. But
Yeah.
Other than that, it was just ball pythons, really. Corn snakes. Well, I guess corn snakes, like I said, first, right when I was 18, started getting some corn snakes. And then when I, decided to do this project wise and actually really get into it about little over 4 years ago now, it was ball pythons right off the bat. And then very quickly after the berms. I had always wanted berms, but just life situation, it just, it wasn't good timing for me before then. I wasn't in the position to, be able to say, I can give these animals a responsible home, take care of them properly, be there to clean them, you know what I mean? All that. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Because like I don't know, like I've been like making the transition to like bigger snakes when like because I've always messed around with like smaller ones when like garter snakes, ball
Yeah.
pythons like the largest thing ever, and then the two that I have, like they're only like maybe like year, like maybe 2 years old, so they're
Yeah.
still relatively small. So
Yeah.
then I jumped up and I got a boa constrictor, and now I'm like, all right, this ain't that bad. And BPL can say, I'm getting better with the whole boa constrictor handling and just dealing with a larger
Yeah.
species of snake. And I really want to get one of them berms one day. Like, but I know like moving down there to Florida, like you can't really have them. So at least
No.
I can keep my boa constrictor. So if
Yeah.
anything,
No, I mean boas are cool, man. I kept boas in the past as well. I actually just got rid of them. So, with all the pythons, I don't know. To me, it was kind of like I had to pick one or the other, and I like the pythons more. And I got really paranoid about the whole IBD thing, transferring between my boas and python. I don't know. So I got rid of the boas that I had. They're cool ass snakes though. And definitely they're a good one to transition from like balls and stuff like that into like the bigger stuff like berms and anacondas and retics. Cause it's not that big of a jump from a full grown, kind of larger boa species to a berm, say, right?
yeah.
But it's a big jump from a ball python to a berm.
Yeah. And I mean, he's honestly his legs got. I mean, he's been doing he said it. He has been doing great. Before he would always hold it with the gloves. Now,
Yeah.
we've been telling him, me, Iron Dog, a bunch of the guys, no gloves. Like last few nights, he's been on live. He's been handling that with no gloves. Everything's been smooth. Like,
And with some age, that boa will calm down for sure. I always remind myself, like, when snakes are babies, they're just scared. They don't know any better. They don't know we're friends and not food or, a predator or anything like that. All
totally
they
agree,
have is their mouth, so they got to protect themselves somehow.
I totally agree, but it's not a baby.
Oh, you want to see Merlin? I can pull Merlin out. He does have a little bit of a food belly in him, but he should be fine at this point. I'll pull Merlin out for you guys.
Oh yeah. By the way, anyone that is new right now, first time seeing Rebecca in here, and then first time also seeing Angel. If you guys, anyone out there haven't already, please smack that like button, share this shit out. Let's get some more people up in here, hang out, whatnot, and it'll be awesome. And when you guys subscribe, though, hit that notification bell. There's 3 different options. Click that shit to all. You guys will stay up to date to everybody's channels. And Josue's Exotics did put everybody's link, mine, his, and these balls and exotics in the description. Look at that.
Oh man, look at him, dude. That's freaking.
So this is a Hypo Labyrinth, possible het albino green Burmese. And I might be a little biased, but I'm just going to say it. He's one of the best Hypo labs you'll ever see.
Dude, wow.
There's a reason he's here. Produced by my good buddy Aaron over at Black Diamond Herps. The only person I was going to buy my labs from, and I got one of the best he's ever produced, that's for sure.
Because I would not mind having one. Like, look at that thing, man. That's freaking gorgeous.
Yeah. Can you imagine this at, 12, 14 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to be absolutely stunning. Look at that head stamp.
Yeah, dude. Look at that.
And that striping is just insane. So this is definitely one of my favorites here. This was a dream snake for a long time, and really grateful to have this particular snake. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better example of what he is.
Because the one I was looking at, I've never seen one like that. The other one, what's it called?
So there's Merlin, you guys.
They're spotted all over.
Granites.
Yeah, the Granite Burmese. Yeah.
Yeah, I can pull out a big Granite girl if you guys want to see her.
Hell yeah.
Oh, another question. Like, are they super like hissy snakes? Like,
they can be very talkative. Yeah. It's mainly a bluff, but I don't know if you guys caught me grabbing this little hook here, or if you guys can even see me from there. But,
you can see it. Yep.
You know, even from a young age, I hook train. They might be small, but I just want to get them in that routine. Because, like, if I pull out this big Granite girl, a 12-foot berm can do a decent amount of damage. I've been bit by 12-foot and bigger snakes, and it's not fun. So, oh, I recognize some of these names in the comments.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that's freaking crazy. I've never really seen one like that close up. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a looker, man. But I mean, I can pull out some more. We got a bunch of berms. Really, just name a gene you want to see, I guess, and I can pull it out.
Bigger question for me is the biggest snake you got.
Carmela, she's around 14 foot. She's actually
Lord.
the only one that I probably shouldn't pull out because she's deep in shed right now, and she just laid her eggs like a month ago. So kind of want to let her just settle down. Yeah. But I can pull out my big Granite girl. She's she's about 12 foot, so she's only a couple feet smaller.
Because like I like the spotting and stuff on those a whole lot because it looks a whole lot different than like just the wild type morph.
Yeah, the Granites are cool, man. I have a lot of Granite in my collection, actually. So we've got my big Granite girl, Karma, who literally just shed. There's a shed in her cage. My Hypo Granite, and then I have 2 Ivory Granites. One of them is an Enigma Line Paradox and the only one in the entire world.
What?
So let me pull out this big Granite girl, though. What's up, girlfriend?
Oh, she's right there.
Yep. There we go.
Oh, good Lord. She is huge.
Let's not drop your tail. Whew. She's probably a little over 12 feet by now. She's probably closer to 13.
Good Lord, that's a behemoth of a snake.
That's my girl Karma, just your normal Granite. She is possible het albino green lab. So there is that. Which if that proves out, especially that lab, I'm going to be really happy.
So there can be an albino Granite like that?
Yep. So I don't know if it gives you a judge of her size there, but
that's a lot of snake.
She's a good girl. Yeah, I was hoping she was going to go this year, but I tried to breed her a few times, didn't see any locks. She's stopped building, so unfortunately not going to go for me this year. We'll have to wait till next year. Maybe if I'm really, really lucky, I can get Merlin to sire a clutch. But I'll probably have to wait another season for that. Woo. Go ahead and get this girl put back in here. We'll let her work her own way in.
That is a beautiful snake, man. Like just the spotting and patterning and stuff on them.
Yeah, I really like the Granites. There's certain combos I don't like Granite in, but some of my favorite combos have Granite. The Hypo Granite is one of the most beautiful 2-gene combos I think you could possibly get with a Burmese. Which I can pull out a Hypo Granite right after she gets in here.
I got to upgrade my enclosures. I need something like that too.
Oh, for your boa or?
Yeah, for like a couple of them, because like I may get another boa or something like that. Maybe like a different kind, like a morph of some kind.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just like my ball pythons and some other snakes and stuff I'm getting in the future, because I'm probably going to get that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the front open enclosures, they just work really good, a whole lot better. And I guess they say it's like a whole lot less threatening than using like something like going above, like over the tanks and stuff.
Yo, most definitely is. Especially for any sort of large snake. so this is what happens when you add Hypo into Granite.
Oh, wow.
So this is my girl Piglet, named for obvious reasons.
Sorry.
But I love her. She's actually also an Enigma line paradox. So she's actually the sister of the other girl I have that's the only one ever. But this is just a Hypo Granite. Couple possets in there, but Hypo Granite. I mean, just I love what Hypo and Granite do when they're it almost Hypo. I was just talking about this the other day. Muted myself on a stream, and I really feel like Hypo with Granite has, I don't know if you can see how it changes the pattern of Granite almost. I mean, it's very similar, but it's still different. So it's kind of weird though, because Granite is a recessive, right? Well, everything in Burmese besides Hypo is recessive. Hypo is the only incomplete dominant trait found in Burmese. So herein lies the thing, is it's almost like Hypo and Granite are allelic, but it can't be allelic because Granite's a recessive and, you know, Hypo is an incomplete dominant, so it doesn't work like that. It's weird, but I have this weird hunch that there's something going on with the interaction of Hypo and Granite. It changes the Granite too much. But yeah, so that's your Hypo Granite.
Dude, hell yeah. See, I didn't even know they had all that kind of stuff.
If we go one step further and we go to Super Hypo Granite, also known as an ivory or ivory granite. Ivory is the super form of Hypo, which is basically the closest thing you're going to get to like a bell in Burmese. There is a true leucistic, but it's not available in the United States. So this thing you're going to get as far as, you know, a leucistic in the States. This girl also happens to be a visual granite, but with ivories, you can't really... With ivories, you can't really see the granite like patterning at all. What I've noticed with granite and ivories is it tends to clean up that dorsal striping a little bit, as well as just kind of create an overall whiter ivory. So if I get this girl out, if she wants to work with me here, there we go. That's fine. We don't need that hook anyway. So this is Penelope. She is an ivory granite.
Oh, yeah.
Possible het albino green lab Burmese. So she's getting some decent size to her. She's got to be pushing about 7 foot or so now, 8 maybe. But those familiar with Burmese can see how clean and high white she is compared to your typical ivory, where you would see a much, much more yellow dorsal. Still an off-white dorsal on this girl, but much, much more high white. Camera kind of looks like it's washing that out right there, but she's got like a jet white tail. So another Burmese.
Gorgeous, man. Oh yeah.
Dude,
what's up, Zach?
Crazy.
And then if we want to move away from the granite stuff, we can go. Let me get this girl put back.
That'd be the one I want right there. I have to go find one of those one day when we move away from Florida.
We're gonna need the bigger hook for this guy. Make sure we get this locked back up. This is another one of my favorite combos. It's a
later, Spider Bomb.
Simple combo. This is another single gene recessive.
Appreciate you stopping by.
Proper Royals. Welcome, brother.
Good to hear you made it down there to Florida safe, man. Hell yeah.
So, hey, Dylan.
Yep.
after this, you show us, we're actually gonna do a like 2 minute intermission. So you know. Yeah. We like to do shout outs every time we go live. So it's about that time we should give some shout outs, and you're gonna add your name to the list for sure.
Yep,
Anyone
it'll be
that,
on tomorrow's show.
Yep.
Dude, what? Look at that one.
So this is a green double head albino granite. And again, for anybody familiar with the green gene in Burmese, see if I can get this chair out of the way and put this boy on the ground so you can really see his color. For this boy's size, he is amazingly bright. Most greens at this boy's size really dull out to like an olive green, like a dark olive green. This boy is still really nice navy green tan. And you know, at roughly 10 foot or so.
What's up, Derek?
Still really nice coloration for this green. So
It is,
we've been working on this project. Next season, his daughter should be of size. So I will be able to finally complete my albino green project. It's nothing super fancy, but it's something that it was a goal of mine since day one. And I wanted to produce an albino green with his green gene. You know,
Nice.
the quality of his green, I want to see that in an albino green. So I kept back the best looking visual albino female from his first clutch that I hatched. And she'll be 3 next year and ready to breed and hopefully hit some really sick ass looking albino greens.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
That's freaking awesome, man. Look, he's good size too.
Yeah, he's a good side dude. He's got to be, I don't know, roughly 10 foot or so. I mean, I'm about 6 foot. I'm just under 6 foot. So if I hold this boy up. You know, he's got to be, of course, he'd curl his tail up. He's got to be somewhere in the 10 foot mark. But just another one of my favorite Burmese, though. This boy is one of the ones who started it all for me. So
they seem like super well tempered and everything. Like,
yeah, Burms are pretty good disposition, man. Overall, I mean, you can obviously have some bad examples or bad seeds in the bunch, but overall, Burmese Pythons have a really good disposition. I work with these animals literally daily too, so I mean, there's always that. But just overall, Burms are just such great dispositioned animals. For being a large constrictor, they're one of the best. So go ahead and get this boy put away, though.
Oh yeah, beautiful. All right, Josue, hit him with that good shit. Let's do this intermission.
Let's see. Is this the updated one? I think so. Yes. All right. Here we go. So as you guys know, usually at a couple times throughout the whole live stream, we normally give some shout outs to everybody. So we updated the list on here a little bit and just to give it a little bit more depth to it. So what we're going to be doing is, if you want to get on the list, like I said, you got to actually come on the show and you can be a special guest on the show, and then we'll get your name up there on the list for the shout outs and all that. You know, of course, we got love for everybody that's in our whole reptile community, but we definitely want to give the people a special shout out that actually take the time to come up here and hang out with us. So going down these lists, we got the co-hosts here, Ball Python Love, and you got me, of course, Josue's Exotics. We're one of the two. Well, obviously, I'm my favorite YouTuber, but you know, Ball Python Love is one of my other favorite ones. He makes some real cool feeding videos, and he has a lot of real cool ball pythons himself. We got My Animal House and Iron Dog Reptiles. They run the Iron Animal Show on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's a pretty cool show. They have a lot of guests coming in and out. I forgot who the last one was. I was just watching it earlier today, and they were just doing a hangout. But they do a real cool show, so make sure you guys go check that out. We got Venom Wonderful. He's one of our good friends down here in Georgia with the Venomous Snakes and all. And he has some real cool ones on top of the Pixie Frog feeding videos that he has. That's really, really cool. And we got OSMR Balls. We got Derek's Reptiles. He's a real cool guy. He's in the chat right now. He has a lot of cool things like his carpet python and Amazon tree boa and things like that. We got Not Lose Exotics. We got J&G Reptiles, Berto Arroyo, KY Constrictors, Hilljack's Life. We got Desert Wolf Armory here, where Desert Wolf has everything you need to know about rattlesnakes. So if you like venomous snakes, he's definitely got to check out Wit. He has videos on banded rock rattlesnakes. He has I think some green Mojaves, 3 or 4 other different rattlesnakes like that he makes videos with. We also have Reptile Feedings. He's a real cool YouTuber down in Florida. He makes videos on his Savannah Monitor. He has one just like these balls and exotics. Let's see what else. He has Pac-Man frogs, ball python, some other animals like that. We got Spider Mom 1978. She just left out the chat a little while ago. She's a real cool lady, has a lot of cool tarantulas and things like that. So if you're into the inverts and, you know, all the other things like scorpions and vinegaroons and spiders and things like that in general, she's going to be the one you need to go holler at. So next up, we got Joe Challoner. He's a real cool YouTuber. And he also is the owner of Venom Proof Cages. He has some of the best cages on the market for venomous snakes. So he has his actual website, and he also runs an Instagram. So make sure you guys go check him out and get you one of those. If you're a venomous snake keeper, it's definitely a must. So next up, we got Cold Blooded Monstars. He's another cool guy with a lot of cool pets and makes videos on them. And I think he's supposed to be having a pet store opening up soon or something like that. Any BPL?
He's gonna have one here soon. Yes.
So then we got Todd Autry. He was in the chat earlier today. He's a cool guy. He does a lot of educational videos about venomous snakes. He's really into like the Crotalus species. We got Fitz Family Constrictor, aka Uper. He was on the live stream a couple days ago. He actually pulled out some anacondas and showed us to him. So definitely a big shout out to Uper, and make sure you go check him out along with Reese's Pythons and Raz Reptiles, Proper Royals.
Sorry, I just said chomp chomp because Raw's Reptiles. Yeah, chomp chomp.
Yeah. And we got Proper Royals. He was in the chat. He's a real cool guy. We did a special interview with him about I believe about a week and a half ago, and it was real cool energy going on with him. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you guys go check that out and go back and watch that. It's super cool. It was about 3 hours long, but you guys enjoy every single minute. He has a lot of cool snakes, and he definitely shared them with us. So you need to go watch that video along with Always Evolving Python, AEP. He was on here about last Thursday, so almost a week ago. He's a real cool guy, and he showed us a whole lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah, and we got round 2 tomorrow with Miguel from Always Evolving Pythons, AEP. So you guys make sure you guys check that shit out too, because tomorrow's round 2. It's going to be dope.
So, and next up, we got TNT Balls. He was actually on BPL's live stream last night, and he's a real super cool guy. He showed us a lot of different things he has, and we talked about things, but we had a couple issues with live stream yesterday. So it's all good. We still did what we did what we could do, and everything worked out pretty decent. So,
and then next one guarantee on the list will be These Balls and Exotics, because he took the time and day out of his own personal schedule to come up in here and hang out. If you guys want to join this list, that's all you have to do is come hang out. Just one night. Yes. That's all it takes, and you will never get removed from the list. You will always stay up there. So even when we have 100 people, when we do this intermission, it might take another 3-4 minutes, but we're going to give everyone the respect because they gave us time and respect to come out and hang out like Dylan tonight. So you guys need to make sure you guys are over there at These Balls and Exotics, and make sure you subscribe and turn that notification bell to all, because there's 3 options: non-personalized and all. Click all. You'll stay up to date on everything he does. He'd appreciate it. I would appreciate it. So that'd be awesome.
Yes. So definitely make sure you guys go check out These Balls and Exotics and hit that subscribe button. And let's see. Next up, we got 2 more things we got to go over real quick. It's not going to take too long. If you guys would like to donate to the live stream and help fund both me, Josue's Exotics, and Ball Python Love, we got our Cash App and Venmo here, so you guys can send us anything from $1, $2, $3, or whatever you can. And we're going to be using this money to buy stickers and other kind of little small merchandise items. So that way we can do some giveaways and we can give back to the whole live stream community. So we really appreciate it. Anything is definitely, definitely appreciated. So moving on, I don't know, VPO, you want to talk about it? We got this.
So we got the Patreon, actually. So we got Pythons and Exotics show now on Patreon. So tomorrow, yes, we do have round 2 with Miguel from Always Evolving Pythons. But it'll be a clean interview. There'll be no drinking, no smoking, no nothing. And then we're going to go live for the second time tomorrow night on Patreon, and it's going to be anything goes. No camera can be off. Mic can't be muted. I mean, drinking, smoking. It's going to be pretty much 18 plus guaranteed. So if you guys want to check that out, please don't hesitate, because we're going to have Miguel as the first one up there. It's going to be dope. Can't wait.
So if you guys do want to join the Patreon, like I said, it's monthly access to all that, and we're going to be having at least 4 to 5 special guests starting on the Patreon coming up soon, and you definitely will be getting that a month. There's going to be 3 different tiers. There's a $10 tier, which just gets you access straight to the live streams. We have a $15 tier, which guarantees you to get merchandise sent to you from me and Ball Python Love over the next, I think, 8 months, I believe. You also get live stream capabilities, and you get to talk in the chat and do other things like that. And we also have a $20 tier monthly that you can have. And if you guys want to actually come up on the actual stream and talk to the guests and maybe ask a question or two for a couple minutes, you'll have that ability as well, along with chatting in the chat and joining the live stream. And you get the merchandise as well. So you get a little bit more with each tier. And what are you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, yes, you get everything with each tier. So the $10 one, you get to watch it. The $15 one, you get merchandise down the road. Plus, you get to watch it and interact and comment. And then the third tier, if you join the $20 tier, you'll be able to join the live stream while we're live. Ask whoever we may have up there as a guest anything you want. And pretty much anything goes. It's going to be fun.
And lastly, if you guys do join the Patreon, the patrons will get a special shout out going on to the Ball Python Exotic show actually on YouTube. So that'd be another plus for you guys actually being on Patreon here.
Yes. So if you do join our Patreon, you will get a shout out. You could actually get 2 shout outs. So if you join the Patreon and you're a guest on the show, then you were able to get 2 shout outs that night, guaranteed. And so we're going to try to help everyone grow, but all we ask is the minimum. All we ask is you guys just even hang out with us on the normal live streams. Minimum. That's it. So what's up, Dylan?
Because we do the open chat night. So, you guys can always join and talk with us on those nights. But the nights we have a special guest is definitely going to be on Patreon. Yep.
And starting this Thursday will be the first one. And then after that, we'll do every special guest. But it'll eventually come public to everybody within like a week or 2. So,
But hell yeah.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. So you got a question for these balls, Josue?
All right. So you said you have one retic. So
yeah.
So how do you like keeping them compared to like the Burms? Like, is the poop worse, or like what do you think?
So let's rewind a little bit. I had a lot more retics than I do now. I cut down my retic collection. I got rid of all of them, but this girl, she can't go nowhere. She's cool. But as far as comparing them, to be honest, man, kind of like I was mentioning a little bit earlier, they're 2 totally different species. So it's really hard to compare them. They're both large pythons. They're both from Asia. That's about all they have in common. After that, the Burmese python is a ground-dwelling species as an adult who prefers to stay hidden and secure, much different demeanor. When they're out, they want to be on the ground. They want to feel hidden, right? Even when I let my big Burms out, for the most part, they're trying to go under these racks or cages or something. They want to feel hidden, Not to say they don't explore and cruise around, but for the most part, they want to feel hidden, right? Whereas my mainland retic or mainland retics in the past, all they want to do is climb climb, move, explore, right? They're totally different. Even as adults in the wild, retics are found up on cave walls, up in trees. I mean, we're talking big, large mainland animals, 15, 20 feet up in a tree or on the side of a freaking cave wall. So it's kind of hard to compare them, but personally, I mean, I do have a love for my Burmese. I really do love my Burmese Pythons. I guess I'm kind of biased in that sense, but there's a few reasons I like Burmese Pythons more. I mean, I love large snakes. Obviously, I like, at least personally, I like the larger the better, which mainland retics would be that animal. But male retics during breeding season are kind of assholes. I mean, is what it is. Ask any real breeder out there who's had years of experience and more than, 3 males, because I hate hearing that too. There's always the people who snap at me like, no, they are not. I have 1 male retic and he's a sweetheart, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I understand that. You have 1 male retic that's a sweetheart during breeding season. Get 5 more of those or 10 more of those and tell me every single one of those 10 or at least 75% of those 10 are sweethearts during breeding season. You can't. I have a lot of friends who have a lot more retics to this day than I do. They, successfully breed them and have for years. And they'll tell you the same thing. They're still amazing animals. They're just not for everybody. And I don't think they should be, bred by everybody. A mainland retic, in my opinion, needs a larger enclosure, at least as an adult, right? Like for my mainland female right now, she is in this top, 6 foot AP up here. But when she's full grown, I won't have her in an 8x30 by 18 like I keep my adult Burmese in. I feel like she needs, I don't mind the 8 foot length, but I'd really like to go to 10 foot or so. And I still want a lot more height and a little more depth for that animal. Really, I think like an 8x4x4 would be the perfect kind of setup for a mainland retic, as long as you're still taking that animal out all the time. If you're not going to handle that animal, a bunch, I think you should have an even larger enclosure for a mainland retic, because they're a very active species, right? Even as an adult, retics want to move around. They want to explore. They're very inquisitive animals. And I think a lot of people interpret that inquisitiveness for intelligence in retics. And you can't really, equate those two things. Just because an animal is inquisitive in the fact that it wants to climb more, right? Which we in our human brains, we think of that as smarter, versus when people see a Burmese, just because of their facial structure is different, their eyes are different, so to speak. A retic has more of like, hate to say an aggressive look, but it's just like that more like powerful face structure, right? When you look at it, you're like, oh damn, right? When you
because retics, they got those eyes, man, like
head, right? So I think people like kind of, they use that as, oh, retics are more intelligent, which, to be honest, after owning a number of both, I don't really think so. My Burmese pythons don't really miss their food all the time and then accidentally bite themselves. I've had a number of retics do that on me, So it's just, I don't know. It's little things for me, man, and like I said, I might be biased because I really love Burms. But I'm not saying this out of, how do I word this? I'm not saying this out of the fact that I breed Burmese pythons. I'm saying this out of my experience with both species. This is just my opinion on the two. I'm not like, overall, this is facts. This is my experience from having both species, working with a number of either species, and then also working with other people's collections that have, these species in their collection. This is my experience, and that's how I feel about it. I think Burms make a much better captive for most people. They stay slightly smaller. Their disposition 90% of the time is absolutely great. They can be housed in slightly smaller enclosures, for my my full-grown Burmese pythons. They're 8 foot enclosures that are 30 inches deep, 18 inches tall, radiant heat panel on one side, LED strips. That's how I keep my Burmese pythons. With that said, I also pull out my snakes a lot and I let them exercise in the room. They, I feel like they need to work those muscles, work that lung. But that, I don't know. I just think they're overall a lot easier, I guess. I could really honestly rant for the rest of the night about that. But I just think they're a much better captive for somebody looking to get into large snakes. And also those of us like myself who just love the species in general. I'm absolutely love them. I want all of them. I'm very close.
Yeah. Hey, not to change the subject real quick, but Lib Martinez in the chat. And I seen Muno or Miami say it. This is what I use for calcium. It's basically Repticalcium, and it goes great. I mean, you could use that for I use it for my Pac-Man frog, but you could use it easily for your bearded dragon, because I see that you keep saying stuff about your bearded dragon. I don't know much about bearded dragons. I don't have a bearded dragon. I am sorry. Hopefully people in the chat are helping you out, but I personally don't know too much about them. Sorry. Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, so another question was like, so how are they, like, how many eggs do they normally have, like, just on average, like whenever you have like a Burmese clutch?
Younger female will average between 20 and 30 eggs. Full grown, good sized female with some years and some size on her. That's healthy, obviously, not, power fed to freaking death. But she'll give you anywhere from 30 to 60 plus eggs.
Good Lord, that's a lot.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of babies. It's a big decision. I don't recommend anybody jump in just breeding big snakes. And that's not just because of the whole, it's competition, because trust me, I don't feel that way about anything. But
so I actually got a question for you.
It's a huge commitment, and baby berms aren't like baby balls. Baby berms are little chainsaws. I take probably a couple thousand bites before you guys get your baby berms from me, and they're calmed down quite a lot more, and like it just leads back to they're just scared little babies, but it's nothing like hatching ball pythons and, getting them going.
Yeah. See, yeah. Like, so here's a question for you. Like, I know you don't have any boas or anything, but what do you think's easier? Live birth, in your own opinion, a live birth or eggs?
I couldn't really tell you. I don't think I have the experience to formulate the opinion on that, to be honest with you, because I don't work with live birth species at all, or have in the past. I've kept a lot of boas and stuff, but I never bred them. So to be honest, I don't really feel like I can give a good opinion on that.
No, I feel you, man. I couldn't either. Like, I was just something that popped in my head, and I was like, I wonder how, these balls thinks about this. Like,
yeah, I mean, in one sense, I guess live birth would be a little bit cooler, because then you don't have to worry about the whole incubation thing. And then you're sitting there at your incubator, checking on it every day for 56 days, staring in there like, are you going to fucking pop out yet or what? Because I don't want to see you, So I guess in that sense, it might be a little bit easier.
So I still haven't had a clutch of eggs yet. I, of course, don't have any snakes. I do live birth, but I don't know, man. I part of me wants to say live birth sounds slightly easier, because I have my incubator up and running right behind me. But I don't know, man. The whole waiting there, like waiting on the eggs, like.
Oh, it never gets old, man. I said like 4 seasons in now. As far as like really focusing on the breeding, I still get anxious like a little kid every time I got eggs in the incubator. I got 4 clutches in the incubator right there that are all due in the next like 2 to 3 weeks. I think 1 is a little over that, but the other 3 are due like, first, second week of June. So I'm like super excited about those, to get those going. And then got a few more females still about to drop, like 4 clutches should drop in the next 30 days or so.
Curiosity, berms or balls?
Balls.
Okay.
Well, in the incubator is a Burmese clutch and then 3 ball clutches. The rest of the season will all be ball clutches. So I have 4 girls that 2 of them just had their pre-lay sheds a couple weeks ago. So they should be, dropping any time. And then the other 2 literally like just had their pre-lay shed. So they'll be dropping in about 30 days. And then we've got, I don't know, 4 to 8 more girls that might go this season, but I'm not super confident in it. Maybe they'll go later in the season, hopefully. That'd be awesome. But at least have another 4 clutches that'll be on the ground in the next 30 days or so, not including the 4 that are already in the incubator.
Nice. So here's another question. Bringing up the eggs, because you have eggs in the incubator.
Yep.
On the ball, not on the berm, because you know what? Better yet, let's start with the berm. What is the clutch?
Green double het albino granite to a het albino. It was a retained sperm clutch from last season. I wasn't actually going to breed that girl this year. It's my big normal het albino girl, but I love her to death. Her name's Carmela for anybody. I know there's a few people I recognize in the comments. So it was a Carmela's clutch bred to Gizmo, that green that you guys just saw, which is also double het albino granite. So it's going to be a bunch of normal het green pos het granites and then some albino het green pos het granites as well.
So what about the balls? What are the 3 clutches that you have going on?
One was a big normal girl. I believe the banana pied sire that clutch, but it might have been another male. The other one was a spot nose het puzzle to a het puzzle female. And the other one was, it's either a banana pied to a het pied, or if he didn't sire the clutch, I believe that one was the Enchi Fire Leopard Blade Het Clown.
Welcome everybody to the live stream. We see you guys.
22 in the house. Hell yeah. Hey, once again, descriptions for these balls, myself, these balls and exotics, though, you guys need to go subscribe. 22 in the house, 21. You guys are awesome. Make sure you guys go give that guy some love. Let's make him over 1,000. Let's get this guy monetized. This guy pushes out eggs every damn year. And not only that, he has rat breeding. He has, his Savannah monitor. There's so much going on over there. You guys have no idea. Once again, he said there's 3 people in here that he recognizes, of course. But those who are just tuning in, oh yeah, you guys need to go check him out.
We got Chris Hardwick in the chat.
We've got a decent amount of content up there. I think we've got 60 or 70 videos so far. Most of it's ball python and Burmese python related. I'll occasionally post some other stuff. You guys will see some herping videos this year.
I think I put out 80 videos by now.
Yeah, I was a little slow to the start, but here's my thing is I don't like to just push out content to push out content. I want it to be something people can use and relate to, or actually, it's something that's needed information-wise, right? Because I tried to do the whole weekly upload thing and then I tried, I even at one point was up to 3 times a week. I can't keep up with that content.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I already have the Instagram page, the website, 5 different groups I manage, not including my own, business pages and everything. It's just a little too much for me on top of, all that social media stuff and then taking care of all these animals and all the feeders. And, pre-COVID, my normal day job, which should be starting back up again soon, it was just way too much.
Sure.
But like I said, I don't know. There's some cool videos. If you guys want to check them out, I won't complain.
No, hell yeah,
what you think, comment on them. I'm always up for suggestions and or if anybody has questions, just reach out to me.
Yeah. So what I try to do with my videos is just as long as you make the next one better than the last one.
Yep.
And also follow what you were saying. That's what you got. That's the key right there.
Yeah, and I enjoy the editing side of it, honestly. So I don't like to rush out stuff because I like working on that little bit of editing and the intros and the transitions, that aren't just oh, let me swirl this here or whatever. I don't know. I find enjoyment out of that when I'm not doing the reptile stuff or, one of my other hobbies, right? I love editing the actual content.
And that's what got me into it. Because not just doing my stuff for the YouTube channel with the reptiles. And all of a sudden I realized, oh man, I got a passion for editing videos and camera equipment and microphones and stuff. Where did this come from? Then,
Yep. So what's actually funny is for those that don't know, my normal day job outside of reptiles is I'm an event and operations manager. Before that, I was a stage manager and production manager. Basically, I work in the entertainment industry and I run the crews that set up concerts, events, all that type of stuff, right?
Yep.
So for years, I'd go around, you know, both before obviously starting as part of the crew. A lot of, you know, the last few years have been me running the crews. But I went to school at one point for audio, but I actually ended up falling in love with video editing, oddly enough, and ended up really liking the video side of the entertainment industry a lot more, which I think is why I find that enjoyment in the editing stuff, you know, because it's kind of like, it's not what I have to do for work, but it's part of my industry that I enjoy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, dude. I just saw the private chat. My bad, dude. I don't check that shit very often.
Nah, all good. 403. Not on YouTube, man. I mean, I'm over that on IG. I don't, to be honest, I'm like, I want to hit the 1,000 mark, but I'm not one of those guys who like goes out and actively like searches for it. I just like putting stuff up, man. I like sharing my stuff. For me, Instagram's also a way for like me to look back, you know, or people who want to like see my stuff or, you know, pick up snakes for me. It's kind of like they can look back at what I've been working on and how I take care of my stuff. You know, I don't really do it for the followers. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I love every single one of the people who follow me and sub to me and stuff, but yeah, I'd love to hit that 1,000 mark. I just haven't, to be honest, I didn't strive for it. Like I kind of slacked in YouTube and made some mistakes and didn't post for a little while. And, you know, just trying to find that groove, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Because like if you're trying to like, are you trying to get monetized or like what are you doing? You just like I mean,
I'm not going to complain if I get monetized. It'd be nice to be monetized. I set up all of my videos lately to where there's no copyright claims. I pay for a service to use all the music that I use on my streams and all that stuff. But to me, I just like sharing the content and my passion. Honestly, it's something for me to look back, for me to suggest people to. You know, like I get messages a lot. People ask, oh, how do you ship snakes? How do you do that? Instead of me spending an hour every single time explaining to some new person how to do that, I send them a link to my YouTube video where I have that already on video so they can go back and look at it, pause it, check it, double check it. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's more of I use it as like a tool. And then I do a live stream, you know, not to like promote my own stuff necessarily on, you know, your guys' channel here.
No, totally.
But I do a live stream every Saturday. We bring on random guests, you know, that I either look up to or enjoy or see their stuff and see their hustle. And I'm just trying to bring on, you know, more, I guess, people who I really enjoy and see the strive and that aren't out there. You know what I mean? So, and don't get me wrong, I like to bring on some of the big name guys too, and some of the people that are well known, but I don't know, man. Honestly, I do the YouTube for fun. It's for fun and just to be able to share. Monetized would be awesome. I'm not going to complain whatsoever, but it's not something that I like specifically strived for. It's just a bonus, I guess.
Now, as for you saying like you don't want to like market in a way, I guess you kind of said like it was something different, but like about your channel, like trust me, you're the guest. You can say whatever you want to tell everyone. You're going live with somebody that you know. You tell them, man.
I mean, I'm one of those guys. You know, we've talked a few times. I'm fairly modest when it comes to that stuff. I'm not huge on like I said, or was just explaining. I'm not that guy who's like out there, right? Like I'll promote my stuff on my own, you know, feed and stuff like that, but I don't like go out and announce it a bunch. But I mean, if you guys would like to know, actually this Saturday I will have Zach Nava from Nava Reptiles on as a guest.
Nice.
Super cool dude, always a freaking ball of happiness that just is a pleasure to talk to. So we'll have Zach on for anybody familiar who wants to chime in. It's at 7 p.m. Pacific time, same time as tonight's stream actually, and we do it every Saturday. It's called the Snake Nerd Lounge. So if you just search the Snake Nerd Lounge on YouTube, you'll find all of our previous streams, and I'll have the upcoming stream scheduled shortly. So
make sure you guys go check them out. You hear them now, coming straight from D's balls. So what you got there, BPL?
So you know what? I want Dylan's opinion. I've had Iron Dog's opinion and all that, and I respect Iron Dog. So I bought her, and trust me, she looks nothing like what I bought her. But I mean, she does have a few, I guess, if you want to say it. But she looks nothing like a pastel, right? She doesn't. Not at all.
Looks like, I mean, do you want my straight up opinion?
The dude I bought her from, this is the one that absorbed, I guess, her follicles.
Are you asking me like what genes are at play?
She's actually, apparently she sold to me and was a pastel 100% het for clown, and she's made it with the clown and produced killer clowns. But I don't see, I could pull out a pastel. I got a pastel. You got a pastel.
Yeah.
I could pull out a pastel. Nothing alike. Nothing alike. This kind of looks like a fire, in my opinion.
No.
You think something else?
Totally pastel, bro. It's just a big female browned out pastel. Not all pastels are created equal. She just looks like a real dark old pastel.
I was more looking for the keyholes in her as a pastel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but do you see that head? That head is what I'm looking at, and that little bit of flaming between along the dorsal there, that coloration, and then that tiny bit of flaming up from the side. That screams pastel to me.
Well, she's the one that absorbed her follicles. I'm actually going to pull them out right now. One that has not made it to her yet, but will hopefully, or didn't make it to her. I can't fully remember, but.
Oh, shit. That's my boy, Angel. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Oh, thank you.
My bad.
And that goes twofold, too, for anybody who doesn't know Angel from Angel Caro Reptiles. Geez, I almost butchered your name, homie. ACR Reptiles. Super cool dude. You guys should actually check him out. He's got some killer vanilla shit.
See, that's the one I thought you had the first time, BPL. Yeah, that's what I remember seeing the other day.
This is my clown Mel.
Yeah.
He's just a normal clown.
Yep.
But he's cool as shit. So that's what I'm hoping that I'm going to pair to this year with her. And hopefully that I can produce that killer clown, man.
Yeah.
Because you know what? That's one of my favorite clown, if not my favorite clown gene, because this, to me, like the metallic silver you kind of see on the back of it, like it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Dude, I love pastel clowns as hatchlings. I just hate how they look as adults. Because they look so freaking amazing as hatchlings, and then they get older and they fade out so much. You know what I mean?
So I'll actually go pull out another pastel so everyone can see this. Because this is why, like, I believe you and I believe Iron Dog that it is a pastel. And dude set me up saying, like, how's she doing and all that with him. But I'll pull out a pastel real quick. 1 sec.
See, a lot of people don't realize, too, there's different lines of pastel.
Yeah.
You know,
it's almost like I knew what I was doing.
I don't know if you heard what I was saying, David, but a lot of people don't realize, too, there's different lines of pastel.
Oh.
It's not just one line of pastel. I believe there's, 3 different lines of pastel? Maybe Angel in the chat. I know Angel knows what's up with his pastels. We've had long, in-depth conversation about pastel, and there's, 3 lines, right, brother?
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Me either.
So this is my pastel. I actually got her from Gray's Reptiles. She's my pastel double het ghost clown. So nice. I'm definitely gonna proof her out in the future. But
hell yeah!
But you can see the keyholes.
Yep.
Like
that nice flaming.
That's what kind of bothers me in my head when I see her. Like I'm like, and I mean, yes, being a het, it could totally be over influence on the gene itself.
Yeah,
I get that, but like. I still have to prove her out, dude. I have to do it.
Yeah.
Like until I see it myself, like it's hard for me to kind of be like, yeah.
Bro, I'll bet you $10 right now she proves pastel.
I don't want. Yeah, I bet.
No, definitely pastel. I've had pastels that look like that girl in the past. It's all about the line of pastel and the quality of the animal, man. You know. She just looks like, you know, an older, darker pastel, to be honest with you. Not saying she's a bad animal. Don't take it like that at all. I'm just saying, like, she still looks pastel to me. It's just not like Angel said, you know, he works with blonde pastel. It's not a blonde pastel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, and he did say just about 3 or 4 different pastel lines. Yeah, I thought it was right around that number.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Hopefully I could hit the killer.
Either way, that's awesome though, dude. I love the clown stuff. I can't wait to be producing some, visual clowns myself. I don't think I'll hit visual clowns this year. I got one pairing that I could hit them on, but I'll definitely be hitting some, double het stuff and some other pos het stuff. So,
oh yeah,
excited for that. Work on some double het clown pieds for the future kind of thing, and then just some pos het clown crazy combos.
oh yeah.
See what an Iron Dog said.
It's actually one of the clutches I'm looking forward to. A girl that's about to drop is a leopard blade clown, possible toff to a GHI Mojave yellow belly.
So Iron Dog said he had one adult female pastel that was super bright, and she produced bright color pastels that didn't dull out. Huh.
I bet that was from the original blonde pastel lines, like Angel's working with. He's got some really nice adult.
See, once again, I'm not saying you guys were like. It's just hard for me to see that. Like that, I don't know, because I see my pastel and then I see that one, and I'm like, I believe you guys. Don't get me wrong. You guys been doing Melpide, but you guys been doing this shit for like way longer than me. So very low white.
I like the low white pieds, man. Medium to low white pieds are my favorite. I'm not a fan of high white.
Let's see what I can pull out real quick. My cinnamon vanilla. He's not really going to show unless I put him in the light.
Nice.
My personal, one of my favorites. Oh, no, that's Cleo. And he looks ready to bite. It's all good. He's still going to get picked up. Oh, showing this shit on camera is so hard sometimes.
What's at play there?
This is apparently, well, there's some banding on him, but not fully. But he was sold to me as a banana inchy, 100% het for pied.
Sweet.
So, hoping to prove him out, but that's all I really got to show right now. Everyone else.
Rebecca hit that right on the head. Disco Infernos more than pieds. Yeah, those Disco Infernos are freaking sweet looking.
So what's a Disco Inferno?
God, what is the genes that play? Obviously, disco's in there. It's disco, fire, something. Rebecca, correct me because I know she's in on that project. I just know what they are. They look amazing. Okay, so it is just disco and fire. It's kind of like a, if you imagine, have you seen the super fires that have the orange speckling down the back? Right? Not the all white super fires, but the ones that get that kind of orange along the dorsal.
I couldn't even tell you. I don't know. I ain't never
right. So it's basically like
I don't know.
It's like if you imagine an all white snake with like this nice champagne-y, orangey color splotching down the dorsal, and it kind of stays along the dorsal. And then they have some absolutely stunning eyes. That's what it looks like. It almost looks like a pied retic version of a ball python.
I got you.
Yeah.
So this is, you guys see that? He was upside down for a second. Like
doing a little corkscrew.
Yeah, so he's a pinstripe spider orange stream.
Nice.
Yeah. But he is spider and he does have kind of a head wobble. So
I only have one spider left in my collection. He's a pretty cool dude, but I haven't been able to prove him out yet, so I actually posted him up. He's a fire spider and what I'm just calling a dinker because I'm not, I have my thoughts to what's in there, but I haven't proved it out, so maybe somebody else can prove him out. But he doesn't really have the wobble at all, man. He doesn't corkscrew, he doesn't wobble. You know, I've noticed it's kind of just an individual thing.
Yo, Josue, you want to take me off solo, dude? I've been up here for a minute on solo, and
I got you.
I got nothing else to show.
I mean, I can pull out stuff. If people have requests in the chats, there's a few animals I can't pull out just because they're either in shed or digesting, or you know, one I just need to let settle in. But I mean, I can pull out a bunch of stuff if there's stuff somebody wants to see or has questions.
That would be awesome too. But I got it. How about this too, Dylan? How about not only you show us stuff, but we get Josue to go grab his boa for another night in a row. Hey, another night. Hey, 4 nights in a row. No gloves, man.
Oh God!
I'm telling you that you're bonding well, dude. Like, you have done so much process. Like, the first night you grabbed it with no gloves and it turned around and looked at your hand instantly. Like, I thought, well, like, damn, he's about to be bit, and then everything was smooth.
I guess
he's like, I don't know. Third night's the charm.
I'm saying, man. I've been pushing you can't push the line you can't push the envelope too far, man.
It's just waiting for that kiss, man. You just got to kiss him on the face.
I'm definitely not doing that.
You trying to get your man bit over here or what?
No. But I'm trying to get him more, comfortable, not confident, because he's confident enough to own it. I mean, like, but more comfortable of, anytime he has to open it, where he doesn't have to be alarmed, because, like, I told him, it's totally different. Once you see, my ball pythons that have bit me have been babies. The boa you're about to see is not a baby. That's a totally different. I'd be a little nervous too, in a way. But, like, it has to be used to. And me personally, if I want to have it, it has to be used to being handled. It has to.
I feel it, man.
I don't care how many times it bites me. I want to keep pushing that envelope to make it sure that, like, eventually in time, like the rest of them now, like, Barry's used to light me up all the time. My Melpide, now, shit, he don't ever bite me.
Yeah. Dude, I never really have feisty balls. I mean, my het puzzle stuff's a little feisty, but I never really get tagged by them, to be honest. I think I've learned to be a lot quicker because of the bigger snakes and the monitors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yet you have to have that reaction time pretty quick because anything could happen. So with balls, like, I don't know. I wish puzzles strike at me, but they never actually get me.
See, I wish I would have recorded some of these bites from my Melpide, from my ball python, but, like, dude, he would act like an anaconda. I'm not joking. Like, 1 minute he'd be chilling your hand, and then he'd look at your forearm, like, sideways, and, like, bite it sideways, and, like, start to, like, slowly gnaw. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like,
little Riri.
Yeah, no, man. I love my snakes, man, but every snake that I own, it will be handleable, because the biggest thing is my 12-year-old, or not 12-year-old, my 8-year-old son, he doesn't know how to keep his hand out of any of the tubs. He'll go in there, pull them all out at the same time. There's plenty of times I've been in the room and he's had them all out in the room together. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Don't get me wrong. I get bit a lot more than people realize. I don't think it's good to post it, so I never post it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the last thing I want to put out there for, like, the stigma of people who are against snakes is, me getting bit by snakes. But let's be honest, I get bit quite a lot. It's never really ball pythons.
Yeah.
So it's mainly the colubrids, honestly. My colubrids are freaking little jerks sometimes.
I bet. Like, I'm going to turn my mic off, but because I got to text this to you. But no one really knows. You'll be the 4th person to know, but please don't say anything. But this is my next snake that I'm getting. I'm trying to keep it secret.
I got you. And I just saw Sonoran Herphaven's comment. I don't only keep pythons. I have a few different colubrid species that I'm working on breeding. And then I also keep, I have tortoises, the monitor. I have a blue phase rhino iguana. A lot of other stuff. No more amphibians. I got rid of my amphibians and geckos.
Look at that, dude. You grabbed them with no gloves. Like, that's already a huge improvement. Yesterday you showed up with gloves, no gloves today. And that was, by the way, I said.
That's still a baby.
Oh, God. Don't bite me. Please don't bite
Is that a 2020 or 2019?
I think so. But see, the thing is like when I bought him, he was a captive bred though. Well, not captive bred, but he was wild caught. So
Oh, he's a wild caught.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just been trying to work with him. I didn't realize that when I bought him, but I mean, I still love him just the same. I'm gonna take care of him, but I mean,
Yeah.
he's thriving. So
Heck yeah. No, that's cool, man. Sometimes I miss having boas. I will be adding one technical boa in the not too distant future, but you guys will see.
Nice.
Green anaconda. I'll just tell you right now. It's gonna be green anaconda.
too. They're freaking awesome. Because like I said, Uper was on here the other day and he showed us his and like these super chill snake.
That's one I can't wait to add. And just trying to, I keep catching these comments out of the corner of my head. Ledka, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right.
Yep.
I do have a blood python or python brongers. She's a T-negative albino matrix from the Mega Matrix line that I've been growing up. I'll probably add another female or two this year, but since they take a while to raise up, I've just been working on collecting some females before I do anything else with that project. I can bring her out, actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
She's pretty cool. I just moved her into the CB70, or I always call them CB70s. It's actually the Freedom Breeder Rec, so FB70, whatever, 70 series tub.
Please don't bite me, Snake, while I'm not looking at you.
Oh, you're good, dude. You're good. No hooks, no nothing. Just
She's obviously a bit hissy, but I don't know if you guys can hear that hiss, but
a little bit.
T-negative albino matrix from the Dylan Haney's Mega Matrix line. I always fuck up his name.
Yeah.
She's still a little snippy, so I'm gonna go ahead and set her down before I get tagged.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
She's not horrible, but you know, it takes time. Still working with her. She's still young. Yes, T-neg. I love the T-neg stuff. I know everybody likes the T-paws, whatever. I got into it, you know. I wasn't even planning on getting bloods, man. Dylan, you know, shared some pictures of some holdbacks, and I was actually at work, and I saw that girl that's, you know, I just showed you. And literally, I just messaged him. I was like, how much? And I just sent him the money.
I've seen pictures of them. I think they're cool looking snakes and all. Like, I just don't have one. Like,
yeah, no, they're cool, man. They're different for sure. I always wanted to get into them. You know, I figured if I was going to start, it would be from my buddy. But like I said, I wasn't even like, it wasn't one of those I was already actively searching. He literally just shared a picture of his holdbacks. And I was like, all right, how much is it going to cost for this girl? And what is she? Like, I knew she had to be like a teenage something, but I didn't know what was going on, you know? It's just that Mega Matrix line stuff is crazy. Dylan Heine, yeah, he does work with Burms too. It's probably the Dylan you think I'm talking about, CBC Exotics. I actually just had him on my live stream. So yeah. that was a fun one.
This is progress, man. Believe me, this motherfucker, like, you put his head in my hand.
Heck
I'm not as scared as I was when I first got him, man. Like, I was worried about this thing at first because I got him like at this big.
Yeah,
like that's why I was asking you questions and stuff, because like I ball python and stuff and started out with this and then came across this 4-foot thing or whatever.
Just keep calm, you know, keep hook training him, you know, stay like calm when you're holding him. And even if he does bite you, do your best to not even react. Just let it happen. And he'll get over it in no time.
On the finger.
He what?
He got me one time, but after that, like, yeah, he's hissed at me and struck at me, but you know, he hasn't bit me since. So.
Yeah.
Also, Dylan, you saying what you just said, it's never a good idea. This is my personal opinion. I'm not saying with venomous, of course, with non-venomous. If your snake bites you, do not put it right back in the enclosure. It's going to learn after a while. Like, I bite him or her, they put me back.
Yep. Now it's a different story if we're talking about, you know, a 14-foot berm and your life is in danger or a retic or
Well,
something. But like when we're talking about a boa like that, or even a baby berm, or shoot, even one of my 6, 7, 8-foot berms, if it bites me on the arm or something, that's the worst thing you can do is rip its freaking, you know, mouth off of you and throw it back in its enclosure. Let it do its thing. Don't touch its mouth. You know, if you have to and it's in a bad position and you're, you know, you're in fear of like actual safety, not just owie, it hurts, you know, pour some alcohol in their mouth, or, you know, mouthwash works. You can do either of those, or just run them underwater and get them off of you. But don't go grabbing their heads and yanking them off of you. It can actually do a lot more damage to you and their teeth. And then you're going to be dealing with a lot worse issues than you having a couple stuck teeth in your arm or your hand, you know? So.
Oh, shit. You did not like that.
No, totally. Don't, I mean, if any of my snakes, once again, I mean, it took Aries, my male pied, he bit me at least 60 plus times.
Yeah.
But I would never put him back.
Yeah.
And now I can pull him out and everything's good.
Yeah, it took me a while to get used to it, man, because your natural instinct is to flinch. You're like, oh, you're scared. You know, you cannot do that. Let them bite you, especially when they're young. It doesn't really hurt. I mean, it sucks. Sure, you might get a tiny little tooth. You got to get your tweezers and pull that sucker out, you know, but it's going to itch a little bit. It's going to sting for what, a couple hours. The next day, you're going to be like, oh, okay, whatever. As long as you don't have a tooth stuck in you, and then it might itch a little bit. But, you know, it's really not that bad.
Yeah, it's not truly the pain of the bite; it's the reaction of knowing your baby.
There you go. There you go. It's the reaction from it.
And what you don't realize, it hurts more when you pull away, because a lot of those pythons' teeth are curved backwards, you know, varying degrees. So when you pull away, you're actually just digging their teeth deeper into your skin and ripping it out of their mouth. Especially a younger animal, that can do a lot of damage to them as well as you. You know.
Yep.
He's wrapped around this whole.
Jeez, hissy pants back here.
Oh yeah, dude! Like,
let go.
Every snake I own, dude, they're used to being handled.
Yeah, yeah, I handle pretty much everything on a very consistent basis, unless they're, you know, new. I give them a while to adjust. I make sure they're, you know, set on food, they're quarantined, they're doing good, and then I'll start handling them. Like that girl, you know, my one girl, she's been here a while, but she just hasn't started taking food the way I want her to. She's the one of a kind in the entire world. I want to fricking hold that girl so bad, but I won't, because she's not taking the food how I want to. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to give her that time to settle in, start eating properly, and then I'll get my time to handle her and work with her.
Oh yeah,
you look so focused over there, bro.
I am 100% focused. Oh God, don't look at me.
I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, I get the teeth that are actually a lot bigger with boas.
Yeah, they just bite. You know, different species bite differently. You know what I mean? Like boas bite kind of reminds me of like a mix between what you would normally consider like a ball bite and a blood bite. You know what I mean? The way they strike, the way they hit you. Blood bites suck because they just throw their whole freaking body at you. And instead of like biting you and trying to pull back, they just throw their whole weight at you. You know, baby berms are kind of the same, but they'll just, you know, coil your hand up after they bite you. Whereas balls, a lot of the time you like get bit and then they kind of let go right away. You know, boas are one of those, like, at least when I've been bit by boas in the past, they kind of like grab and hold on for a minute, but like they smack you freaking hard.
Yes.
And then they hold on for a minute and then let go. You know,
he let go. Like when he bit me, that's what happened. He bit and held on, and then like it dropped him on accident, and then he let go. Like, oh shit.
See, but now look like the last 4 or 5 nights in a row, you've been holding him, no gloves, like. He's not in like some kind of pissed off mode. He's not in flight mode. He's not trying to get away from you. Like he's
just a
relaxed.
fucking digger. Like I can't do shit. Like 'cause I have to go dig him out of the fucking substrate every time because I never know where he's at.
Weird. He's just probably still getting used to you. You know, those slow positive threads are what's gonna make that big difference for you. Like what you're doing right now. You know, I do that a lot with like Hissy Snakes. Is I'll do just those short positive threads.
I just don't want him to wrap up this microphone again. That's the only thing.
Oh yeah.
And Sonoran, I missed that comment. The Sumatrans are sick. To be honest, out of the short tail species, I really just like the bloods. The other short tails are really cool, but I don't know. I have this thing for those bright teen egg bloods, the golden eyes, the 007s, the pixels, the batiks, the stuff like that. I really love those. And you just don't see those with the Curtis or the other short tails.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting a blood.
They're cool, man. It took me a while to make that leap. Like I said, I really wasn't even planning on jumping into him when I did, but he posted those holdbacks. I saw that girl. I knew I had to have her, you know. And I was just like, yep, well, you got to raise them up for quite a while. The way I see it is if I'm going to get into a project, I want to raise up females first, see how I like the species, you know, how I interact with them. And if I grow up a few girls to breeding size and I'm like, all right, yeah, I can do this, you know, this is something I want to do, then I'll make that leap. Until then, I'm just, you know, I keep some stuff just to keep it, just because I like them. And that's where it's at now for me with the blood, you know. It's just my one blood. She's cool as shit. I'll probably, though, I am really liking having her. I like the projects, you know, that I see with the blood. So I would probably, you know, like I said, I'm probably going to add 1 or 2 females sometime either this year or maybe next season at the latest. And that way, they're, you know, when they are ready to breed, I'll have a few options for females, not just, you know, one breeder size girl.
Oh yeah. How you doing over there, Josue?
I'm trying to get him off my microphone over here and not scare him too much.
So this is what you do. Trust me, man. We haven't let you down yet. Put the hook down and grab him with your other hand.
I will. I just don't want to freak him out.
It ain't gonna freak him out. It's gonna freak you out, but you'll be all right.
Have you named that snake yet?
Not yet.
To be honest, you don't know the sex, right?
Yeah, I don't. That's another thing. I don't know what it actually is.
Okay.
I know it's a Guyana red tail, but I mean, other than
you could just, you know, leave it there and call it the Boa and David show for a minute.
Because I never like to force them like off of stuff, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just curious.
Just grab that tail with your other hand and very slowly unwrap it. You'll be fine.
Do you pop them the same? Like I pop mine, dude. I haven't. Until someone in person teaches me how to probe, dude, I pop my snakes. That's just me. So
I pop all my pythons, but with the boas I had in the past, I would always just probe them.
Yeah.
Same thing I do with colubrids. I know you can pop colubrids, but I just probe them. It's easier, less, you know, you can get confusion with popping. If you don't know exactly what you're doing or don't get a good pop, or, you know, there's females who have big scent glands that people mistake for hemipenes. And, you know, there's just a lot of mistakes that can happen with popping versus probing. With that said, I feel it, though. I wouldn't recommend probing unless you've had somebody show you in person or you're extremely, extremely confident in your capabilities of following direction and watching videos.
Yeah, because
you do that wrong, you done screwed that snake for sexual activity for the rest of its life. You know what I mean? It might survive and do just fine if you're lucky and it doesn't get infected. But, you know, you puncture a peen or a vent or anything like that, that animal's not going to reproduce for you.
See, that's what scares me about probing. And once again, I get that you have to look because there are those times your females might push out that slight little bit of red, and you might be like, "Oh, there's 2 hemipenes." That's not
It's not a peen, that's a scent gland, but you got to know the difference, because also there's males who have tiny peens that look like scent glands. So you really got to know what you're doing and pop it properly. If you don't get a nice full pop, that's why most of the time before I sell anything, I've sexed that animal 3 to 5 times. I've made that mistake in the past. Embarrassing as it is to admit, like we all make mistakes. I missexed animals in the past. I did what I had to do to make it right, and that's all that mattered, but still, like after that, like one scenario in particular, at least that I'm thinking of, like I sex everything 3 to 5 times at least before it, leaves this room.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, shit, dude, I'll be honest with you. Like I said on the previous lives, there's not one subadult or juvenile that I haven't popped at least 10, 12 times.
Yeah.
Like I will check every couple weeks and make sure. That's just my personal preference. Like I have to make sure I know what I have. And from my own saying, I have 6 males, 6 females.
Yeah.
So I'm actually stoked, but all my females except for 1 are all 5 are juveniles, 1's a sub.
Yeah.
1's actually 4 juveniles, 1's a sub, 1's a full female adult, the one I showed you. But like other than that, like none of them are ready to breed at all, except for 1.
Take you a few years, but you'll get there.
Oh yeah, and I'm all right with that. I'd rather deal with them when they're young and get that pissy shit out of the way, or just be loving them from first sight. Who knows?
And honestly, I think a lot of people make that mistake is they want to rush in and they want to buy adult females and shit, right? Which there's no problem if you're trusting. You really have to trust that person and know that they're an honest person. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize: when you're buying adult females, a lot of the time you're buying somebody else's problem. Either she slugs out, she doesn't like to produce, she produces tiny clutches, she doesn't produce at all, there's some sort of issue with her, she doesn't eat properly. You know what I mean? Most of the time, most people aren't letting go of, breeder females that aren't having issues. If they laid big, healthy clutches every year, do you think that person would be selling that girl? Nope. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I've sold perfectly healthy breeder females that have gone on to lay people clutches.
I mean, it all depends.
And I know there's a number of other people who have, just because we're upgrading our females, right? Like, say, as I get a bunch of visual pied females up to size, I don't necessarily need a het pied female. So I might let that girl go, like just as an example. Do you know what I mean? So I get that. But a lot of the times when you see these Craigslist ads and a lot of these morph market ads from lesser known people, you're buying somebody else's problem.
Truly, yeah.
Shit, what's up, Calvin?
Calvin, welcome once again. So everyone just joined.
That's a little player right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's been building up a collection and picking up some heat.
Oh yeah.
I'll show you guys this guy, but yeah, I got pretty much just like 2 of the wild types. I don't really have anything special, so this is just one of them.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with the wild type. That's what
I like everything. Classics of a lot of species. Classic Burms are one of my favorite Burms. Even though I have all these crazy morphs and stuff, I still love a good normal. And I still have normal ball pythons.
Yeah, I got one.
One of my oldest breeder females, she's 23, almost 24. No, I think she's 23. 23-year-old normal female ball. But she gives me big, fat, healthy clutches every year.
So really quick, we got 15 in the house. If you haven't already, please smack that like button. Also go down in the description. Josue left 3 links to everyone up here on the panel for the channels. If you haven't already, go over to D's Balls and Exotics. We got 16 in the house. Subscribe to him. But not only when you subscribe, make sure you hit on that notification bell to all. You'll have 3 different options. Go to all. Trust me, you'll stay up to date to everything. Oh,
Hell yeah. Make sure you guys are sharing this video out so that way everybody can see this video and we can go ahead and spread the love everywhere for, we can get our name further out there on YouTube.
Sonora and Herp Haven hit it right there. There's no financial or logical reason to sell breeder females. I mean, like I said, unless I'm upgrading and I already have, 2 or 3 on deck that are going to be ready the following season, I wouldn't sell, most of my breeder girls. I have in the past, but it's because I already had stuff growing up to replace them.
Hell yeah.
So that's just how I see it, you know what I mean? Because we're always trying to grow and strive, right? We do this as a hobby, but a lot of us want this to be, more of a full-time thing. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta look at that logically, and you have to think, right? If you kept every single girl, if I kept every single girl, I would end up with 200 breeder females before not too long at all, right? In no time. And I don't necessarily have the room for 200 females, let alone 200 clutches. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of that, like, you got to find your sweet spot. Like, how many animals can you properly manage, still manage your regular job, still manage your other daily activities, family life. Don't let that stuff suffer because the animals, you know what I mean? And vice versa. Don't let the animals suffer because you have too many and you need to spend time with your family or work or whatever, So it's finding that sweet spot. I made the mistake at one point and got, a bit bigger than we are now. And I realized it was a little too much for me by myself, so I brought in my buddy to actually help. He comes over once or twice a week now, helps me clean shit. My girlfriend's a huge help in this. She does a lot of the rodent stuff. She also helps me a lot with the bigger snakes and stuff in here, as well as she has her own snakes in here. But you got to find that sweet spot for sure, man. And that's why for me, like, I'm right around my sweet spot. I might add about 30 more, roughly 30 or so max more ball python females, but I think that's about where I'm going to cap my ball projects. You know what I mean? Right around 50 to 60, female ball pythons, I think is my max number where I feel comfortable being at. And right now I'm still, I'm right around 30-ish mark. Female wise, not all breeder size, but just like 30 female balls, But
let's just say, even if you only had, like, let's just say randomly, you only had 10 males and 20 females all ready to go. That's a lot of damn fucking eggs at the end of the day. Yeah. Like, that's a lot of damn eggs.
Yeah, so, and especially like I'm working with bigger species, so you got to think about, like, Carmela's last big healthy clutch was 42 eggs. That's from one berm. Now, if I breed 2 or 3 berms in a year and they're all like that nice healthy size, you can count on at least roughly 30 eggs from each clutch. So we're talking 90 eggs just from those berms, not including the, 30 to 60 ball python clutches. So, I mean, it's a lot. You got to have room for it. You got to be able to feed them. You got to be able to clean them, take care of them, and then manage all your other stuff on top of that.
For sure. Hell yeah.
I know I don't think at least we dove into it much, but we also breed all of our own feeders and produce excess feeders. So, it gets, I don't know, it piles up. I'm just saying, find your sweet spot.
That's my next thing I got to do, like, because EPO was getting me into that. Like, I need to start breeding, like, feeder mice and stuff like that so I can make sure I always have.
Well, let me just stop you there. Depending on what you have. I personally only have ball pythons in my Pac-Man frog, and my rats, but I only breed rats. I don't breed mice.
Feeder rats, mice stink and they suck.
Not enough protein, not enough anything. Trust me.
I will say that's the one thing we actually like. I don't produce all of my own rabbits yet. We're working on that. So I do occasionally still have to buy, a couple 100 pounds of rabbit to sit in the freezer for when I need it. And then I don't produce mice anymore. I picked most of my mice up from my buddy Angel that was in the chat there. Because I don't like them, man. They're messy, they're smelly, they're freaking annoying. Like they're little bitey little shits. Sorry, about the language, but like it's just how they are. Plus, really, I only feed mice to my colubrids. Any of my pythons or anything like that is getting rats. Rats are much more nutritious, for these larger bodied snakes. Now, mice are, much more leaner on the same atrospect for like your colubrids and such. But as far as the pythons go, and even boas, I always fed my boas rats. I never really fed them mice.
Because that's what I feel. I get mice pinkies, and then I buy small female rats, and then I just feed all that because they eat the ball pythons eat the rats, and the boa he eats the rats as well, and then I feed all the pinkies to the like like you said the colubrids because I got the garter snakes and the milk snake.
Okay, yeah. Then I could see it. What kind of milk do you have?
It's a Puebloan milk snake.
Oh, I love my Pueblans. So
see, he just he's just like that big though, and he's like a year and a half, almost 2 years old. And he's still super duper they're not big snakes.
How often are you feeding him?
Still weekly.
Bump that up. Every 4 to 5 days.
Really? I've been feeding him 2 pinkies though. Like every time I feed him weekly though.
Yeah, I'd still bump that up to like every 5 days instead of every 7. A lot of people don't realize most colubrids have a much faster metabolism. So I feed a lot of my colubrids every 4 or 5 days. Actually, I feed almost all of my colubrids every 4 or 5 days, besides my corn snake, who is literally ancient in corn snake years. 24-year-old snow corn. So I feed her, weekly, and I also purposely skip weeks here and there, just because I don't want to put too big of a load on her body. But as far as growing colubrids, feed them. And that's not power feeding when you're feeding a colubrid. An appropriate meal every 4 to 5 days is not power feeding for, a lot of species. That's normal. That's how they'd eat in the wild, is slightly smaller meals, slightly more often. A lot of times when these colubrids are eating in the wild, they're going into mice dens. They're eating every single pinky in that litter and then chilling there for a few days and then going out and finding another one and doing the same thing. So us giving them, 2 or 3 pinkies every 5 days or so is actually perfect for them.
I'll definitely do that then, because he needs to get he needs some more size to him. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I can show you some milks. I actually have a pair of milks that I'm working on. We have an aberrant pattern male that we've had for a while. His name's you know what? Let me pull him out and then I'll tell you about him. Hold on.
When you say like a aberrant pattern, it's just like the pattern is just like is not the usual pattern.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I'll show you. His name's Jinx, and he's got this weird banding to him, which is something I want to breed for. So, do you see that random band?
Right there? Wow!
How it's not just like your typical,
not at all
regular band. It's all kind of wonked out, halfway a double band kind of thing that's connected down there, right?
Mm-hmm. So that's crazy. That's different. Yeah.
What we want to do is breed that aberrant pattern into the Halloween stuff. So we've got another Halloween female. She's still really small, but growing up. I'll see if I can grab her. She's a bit nippy, but we'll see. Oh, and she just had a nice fresh shed for us. She's probably going to pee on me and bite me. But it's a beautiful, beautiful Halloween from my buddy Shane over at Evergreen State Reptiles. I mean, look at that orange for that Halloween, man. Can you imagine getting that aberrant kind of pattern and that crazy banding into this Halloween coloration?
Yeah, see, mine is nowhere near that same color. Like the banding on it is just normally just the black and the yellow is about all you can see, and then you have hints of the red that you can see on like underneath the body, but majority of it is like you can't really see it all like on the reds.
Yeah, no, I love that's the Halloween here. It's a color mutation, and I just love them, man. I think they're cool as shit. So this is one of the colubrid projects we're working on. I want to get that aberrant pattern into this Halloween color more for the Pueblans. I think it could make some really cool stuff.
Because that's like as far as colubrids go, like king snakes and all, like that's probably my favorite one out of all of them. Like I have to go find mine real quick.
I actually have kings as well. So if we want to take a look at this, this is a reverse striped lavender albino cow king.
Oh, that's beautiful. He's not here, so he can't solo you, but that is gorgeous. He actually has a rattlesnake as well.
He has a rattlesnake?
Yeah, it's a pygmy rattlesnake. Yeah.
I don't know if that striping is actually coming up, but there we go. That's a reverse stripe lavender albino Cal King.
That is gorgeous.
So we want to breed that reverse striped lavender albino to an aberrant patterned black and white Cal King that's also het lavender that we have to hopefully produce some, some weird kind of mixes between the reverse stripe and the aberrant pattern. If we can get those mixed in together in the visual lavender albinos, I think those will make some cool ass kings. So
all right, so let me.
Yo, he didn't know you had a rattlesnake, man.
Yeah, he's just a little pygmy rattlesnake. He's nothing too serious. He's a little small guy. I like him though.
Heck yeah, I wish we could keep hots here, man. There's a few species I just dream of having, but we can't have them here.
Yeah. Check this out. So this is him. Like you see, like I was telling you, like his red's not really like out there as much as the blacks and the yellows.
Oh yeah, that'll change as he gets a little older, though.
See, that's what I was thinking too. Because like I said, mostly you can see is just all that. The red, like around his face, you can kind of see.
Yep.
He's just super duper small.
No, that is really reduced red, though. That's a cool looking Pueblan, man. It almost reminds me of, oh my God, I'm spacing it. There's another locality of milks you don't really hear of that often, and that's what that kind of looks like to me. It reminds me of. It's really hard to distinguish them truly between them and Pueblans, but.
So what do you have right there?
I was just showing this to David and everybody else, but this is the reverse striped lavender albino Cal King.
That's crazy.
So, this is part of our Cal King project. And then we've got some aberrant patterned het lavender animals growing up. I'll pull one of them out. Hold on. But again, we're trying to kind of line breed when it comes to the colubrid projects a lot more than just necessarily genetics. We do that with a lot of our stuff because I think it's important to not only breed for genetics, but traits as well and just quality. Let's see. So then, this is more of your, I guess you could say standard, but this is what we'd call an aberrant patterned black and white Cal King. That's also
I've seen a couple of those like that because instead of like having like the bands and stuff, it's more like spots, more or less.
Yeah. So we call it the aberrant patterned, black and white Cal King, but this one's het lavender. So we really want to see this mix in the visual lavenders because I just love the purples. We got those. We've got hognose. Not working breeding corns. I just have my, super ancient corn down there in the bottom of that stack of 4s there, or T8s. But yeah, it's not it for our colubrid projects. There's a few more I'd like to add, but the time will come. The time will come when it's here. You know what I mean? It's just not that time yet.
But yeah, well, so we hit the 2-hour mark. So yeah, we probably going to go ahead and probably end it now. We normally stop around that 2-hour mark, and I'm getting a little tired too. I got a couple more things I got to get done real quick and put this guy up, water everybody, and a couple things. But
perfect. We definitely my lights are about to shut off on me anyway.
We appreciate you stopping by. Like, it was a real cool interview and like showing us all the different snakes and all, because I never really got to see the different kind of Burmese and stuff like that, and I didn't even know they had like a like you were showing the leucistic kind, like, well, not really leucistic, but as close as you can get to like a bell is like what you was talking about. But that was freaking awesome.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on, you guys. And if anybody ever has any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me at all. I'm always happy to help. As long as it's not 2-3 in the morning. And if it is, just know that I probably won't reply to you until the morning.
For sure.
But I'm always happy to help and answer questions.
Before we end this live stream, though, once again, hey, Dylan, these balls and exotics, dude, I appreciate you. You've been a really good part of this community. You support a lot of good people that you and I both still watch. Iron Dog, My Animal House, Super, I go for a good minute. But like, I mean, you really put out like a lot of content. And those who are watching, you know, once again throughout the whole live, they need to go and check your shit out if they haven't already. And dude, I appreciate you coming up here. Great friend. Good shit going on over there. I cannot wait for more blackhead shit coming out your way, dude.
Oh yeah, definitely more stuff coming. And one shameless plug real quick before we jump off here. If you guys want an easy link to all of our stuff, just go to my website at www.thesnakenerd.com. You'll find everything from merch to links to our Morph Market, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, literally everything on that one webpage. So just thesnakenerd.com.
Make sure you guys definitely go check out D's Balls and Exotics, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you guys can stay up to date with all his latest videos and all things he's got coming out. And make sure you guys go check out his website. So we appreciate you guys coming by for the live stream, and we'll go ahead and end it here.
One more thing. Sorry. Just one more thing. Dylan, once again, thank you again for having you up here. But I want everyone to tune in tomorrow. We're going to have Miguel as well. So you guys don't miss out till that one. Once again, sorry, that's all I want to say. You could hit that fucking intro. Dylan.